So I talked about how analytics is moving from just crunching numbers to processing human input like face, like speech, like written text. For example, what would be the chance that the person on the phone is actually the person that we think it is? Or if the subject is economy, what would Obama have said? What would Trump have said? Can we generate a speech for him based on analytics? So that's where I talked about the impact in the world and how you can make the change in people's life there. And that we're moving away from just crunching numbers to doing much more with analytics now that we have cloud computing power and all those machine learning advances.
I have to admit, I'm a little bit thorn on the issue because it sounds very exciting. And with my technologist glasses, I'm really excited about it. But then I'm kind of thinking like how intrusive it's getting in people's lives and all that.
Yeah.
Where do you see that going? How do you think we're reaching some limits where the law will have to put things back into place? Or do you think we still have lots of room within the legal framework to work with that?
Yeah, so talking about ethics and legal, I think we're getting closer to what is acceptable. Mm-hmm. You have people giving away their data for free or even paying to give away their data, right? Buying a device and be ready to give it away. I don't know, Facebook connects more data points from every single user than the Stasi used to do, and the Stasi is one of the biggest privacy problems in history. Facebook collects more. So yeah, it's crazy. And personally, I think we're really close to the edge of when we see people standing up against it and will speak up and start not using this technology anymore or even hating it. There are people already doing that, and maybe government needs to step up a little and give some regularization. However, there's always this balance between innovation and then dying it down because of rules. Honestly, to me, I think there's some room now for rules. I think there's time now for, force companies to be open and honest about what they do. Right? You have a smart TV. Did you know the smart TV is listening to you 24/7 while sitting on the couch, even if it's not on? It's happening, and companies are not forced to tell about that, and that's where it needs to change, I would say. Maybe not ban it, but be open about it, so I can make a conscious choice if I want to use that product.
So what do you think would be a good way to make people more aware of this? Because I feel we as technologists, we kind of know that the technology is capable of doing that, but what would be a good way to communicate this to just non-techies, that basically those are actually quite real risks that we have?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Because it's so many people with so many conversation styles. So one thing we tried, and one thing that works for a certain group of people, mostly the younger people, is make viral videos where something goes wrong. So in the Netherlands, for example, we did a video with a very popular boy band, and the boy band made a vlog, and they had a whiteboard in the back with a mobile phone number on it. And that was on purpose, because the mobile phone is not from those guys, but it said mobile phone from Max, new mobile phone number. And people started calling, WhatsApping, texting, Skyping that number. And they made a video on how many calls they got, and just because they had this 2-second number in the vid, right? And it's just a number. Imagine your I don't know, images of, something else. So that's some way to make it known. But we still need to step up that game, and I think government has a lot of work to do. But I think IT people, IT companies need to be more honest and open about the risks of these technologies. I think we should not stop investing in it, but be open about what you do and why.
All right, so if we kind of switch gears a little, this is a lot about where are we going to be in 5 or 10 years? Where do you think we're going to be in 1 or 2 years? What's really where you think the things that are really getting real, like the exciting developments that we have now? Where do you see that going?
I see the blend between physical and virtual world, right? The whole HR, VR movement, the whole thing connecting those things together, and then knowing where you are, where you look at, being able to process that image, right? And be able to add contextual value on top of that without it having to be intrusive. I think that's where we will be going in the next 2 years.
So you mentioned virtual reality, but what's your take on augmented reality, where you would have, the Google Glass experiment from a few years ago? Do you see any future in that? Where
absolutely.
Do you see that going?
HoloLens from Microsoft is of course a great example in that area, where we learned from what Google Glass was and where it went wrong, and we're trying to steer away from that a little just to see if we can make it work this time. Not because Google Glass was a bad product. I mean, just the way it was introduced and the public opinion about it was not really favorable.
Yeah, as soon as the term glass hole came out, that was the end of it,
Yeah,
pretty much.
so we're trying to steer away with that and change it. But I think AR will change all of our jobs, basically. Everyone. The problem we still need to solve is it's very intrusive. You have this thing, right? So what if we can combine that using robotics or smart chips and have it without you having to wear anything, right? That's the next level where we need to go. But I think AR will change a lot of the work for maintenance crews, for flight departments, for hospitals. We see it already, right? Hospitals with AR glasses, they see the patient, they know, oh, they did this test, this drugs, blah, 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 this is what's going on. Because in hospitals, you always lose the papers with the test results.
And the contamination of the hands, where you're not allowed to touch something.
Yeah. So, and then just looking at the patient in the bed or just scanning a barcode on the bed, whatever. And then seeing all the context, that's happening already, will become more apparent in the next 2 years. Yeah.
Really fascinating. So, is it your first time here in Iași?
Yeah, it's my first time. It's not my first time in Romania, but the first time here in Iași. Yeah.
And what do you think of the event here? What do you think of the city? What do you think of Codecamp?
I love the event. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to check out the city. I arrived yesterday late, and we had to go to the dinner. And I'll fly out in 25 minutes. So unfortunately, I don't have the time for the city. I saw some cool pictures. I hope to be back here maybe next year or maybe October, or whenever the event is back here, because I love the vibe. I love the way it's organized. I love the people here. They're so enthusiastic. I mean, I can't wait to get back here.
That sounds fabulous. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.